Hi Voyagers, welcome to my channel. My name is Iman. You're here with Code Voyage. In Code Voyage, we are trying to experiment with codes, with tech, with do-it-yourself projects, and I technically journal my day throughout this YouTube channel, trying to find different projects that I'm interested in, trying to showcase how to do it, and I try to summarize things I do, and hopefully it will solve your problem as well in some cases. So in this one, I'm going to tell you about how to create a website freely and almost with no codes. And um, and when I say no codes, you don't need to write it. Actually, ChatGPT will help us to write it. So there's a um, feature in GitHub called GitHub Pages, and today we are going to take help from this feature. So just a really small explanation of websites. Websites usually have a face, some part of the code that when you request a website or go to an address, some part of the codes will be sent to you for display. And those codes that are being sent to you initially are mostly front-end code. And when it's front-end, it's being run in your browser. It's taking your computer resources. And when it's back-end, you are not processing that. Actually, a server is behind, listening to your request, processing it on anywhere in the world, doesn't matter, but not your computer, and will answer you back. So whenever you log in to a website, you're sending an authentication request, for example, or when you're buying something on a website, on internet, you're sending your data in an encrypted and secure way to purchase some unique product with unique ID, and everything is pretty much described in that request of what you need, what are you trying to do, and how much is the price and stuff like that. And the server is processing it, is probably also processing your request of purchase from the bank as well to see if the request was approved by the bank or something like that. So it does all the logic behind it for you. Why did I say all these things? Because as long as you have a front end, something that could be run only on users' browser, you can run it on GitHub. And this does not only limits to HTML or CSS. You could run a React project, for example, on your GitHub, as long as it's front end, as long as there's no backend for it. Anyway, so today we're going to start with a really simple website. I was thinking of creating a website for my YouTube channel. So I have asked ChatGPT to, let me just switch over. We're going to get back to this. So this is GitHub Pages. It explains how things work, and we're going to use this format and everything. I'm going to get back to this very soon. So I have asked ChatGPT here that I want to create a website for my YouTube channel. It needs to have some pages or sections, contact with me section. Followers can find me on different platforms, a blog section, which I can write articles or posts, and a merch website, web pages, and which you can only label it as coming soon, because I don't want to overload my request to ChatGPT and misguide it. I want to have a clear image of what I need from ChatGPT so it can actually focus on that. So yeah, and the main page I asked that and the main page should contain my latest or most viewed video. Follow the good practices, stuff like that. Choose a theme, and also uh, only give me HTML, CSS. I didn't even ask for the JS or anything because there's no specific JS right now in my mind that I needed. I mainly need like just a good structure to start with. And the main point of this video is that you can host your HTML, CSS on GitHub freely with no problem. And when you got your domain, your own domain, you can also connect it to it. And whatever you're paying for your domain, that's totally separate, but you can connect that. And my main website is still hosting on GitHub. And I will show you later on. So it's generated some HTML, CSS for me, and I'm just gonna copy them and create. I have created a folder here. Actually, what I can do, all right, let's start from the beginning. Let's not paste it anywhere yet. So first and foremost, we need a GitHub account. I have created a GitHub account. I have created one repository inside. Imagine as a repository to be a directory or a folder, which you have a bunch of files and another bunch of files of folders inside them. The repository name, which could be recognized with GitHub pages, should have this format. So it should be starting with your username.github.io. So the real codevoyage.github.io follows that format. And I have set this to be public when I was creating it because it needs to be publicly accessible. As you can see, there's like nothing inside. There's no file yet. And I will do as follow, right? I want to say I'm just going to follow the command line as mentioned. So we want to create a README file. And it's just a one line going to be sent to a README file and create that for us. So I'm going to do that. And now I have a README file. And I'm going to git init. I'm going to initiate the GitHub here. Okay. Initialize the empty repository. And then I want to add the README file. Technically stage it. Stage this file. And then I want to add my first commit. So git commit -m, which is the message of the commit, and the message will be first commit. All right, I have committed. I want to set the branch to main. We call the branch main. We add remote origin will be the address of my Git repository, and then we will push to the main branch. If you don't know meaning of each line of this, or you have question about it, I can explain more later, but don't worry, just follow the lines. It's nothing complicated. Git could get complicated, but it's also easy to use. First, you stage your changes. You want to put them on a shelf kind of thing to see which are the changes that you made, and then you want to get them all together or separately, doesn't matter, You want to commit them to the branch that you have on your GitHub repository, and you can have different branches. But the main branch is what we are working with. And when you commit, it's kind of finalized. There are exceptions, but it's kind of finalized. And then you need to push it to the repository, the cloud, technically, the GitHub servers. So these are just steps that we're going through, and some of these steps we are not doing again, like adding the remote. This is just one-time thing. Anyway, I'm gonna push. Yeah, so because I have logged in with my other account here, I get a permission error. What needs to be done?
One eternity later.
I'm gonna try with the GitHub CLI. Yeah, that was way easier. Okay, apparently I'm all set. Let's try now after a long time. All right, logged in as the real Code Voyage. So I'm just gonna push. Finally, we could push the changes, and if I refresh this, I will see my README and README file. All right. So as I shown earlier, ChatGPT gave me the HTML and CSS. So I'm just going to create those files, index.html and styles.css. All right. Okay. And here we go. We are going to copy the HTML, paste it here, and copy the CSS and paste it here. So we can have a preview, and I have said this before. There is a extension, VS Code extension called Live Server, and with that live server, I can show it here. Yep, this one. What we can do is we can right click on our HTML, and again, not finding it here. I don't know why exactly, but all right. Apparently it does not come up here. It's really interesting. But open with live server, we have it over there. That's very interesting. Anyway, so I'm just gonna do that. And here's yeah, so we are previewing from localhost from the VS Code extension, and it had created, so technically the ChatGPT created different sections for us. As you can see, the URL from below, this one is hashtag blog, which goes straight to the blog ID here, and then contact and the merch. It did not create different pages for us, but different sections. Since it's going to be static and it's going to be hosted on GitHub pages, you can also have different pages if you want. But this section would suffice for now. So we have had a preview of what the website might look like, and we're definitely going back to this to improve it, because this is very ugly. It's just the bare bone of something to start things with. I definitely don't want to leave it like this. Anyway, so we are coming to our VS Code. We can also do it on the web, by the way. We don't have to have VS Code. We can just upload the files directly to the GitHub by logging into GitHub in our browser, and we can do that. So yeah, don't be afraid if you don't have VS Code. I'm just gonna go to my Git, the source control part, the GitHub, and I will stage all changes and say bare bone codes uploaded. Okay, something as a message to if I wanted to revert back, I know what I've done. And then I'm gonna commit and sync changes, which pushes. Okay. And now, no, I don't. I'll think about it. Anyway, so if I refresh here in my repository, I'll see that the HTML and the CSS are in, and they are working. Now it's time to go to setting. So I'll go to setting. From the left sidebar, I'll go to pages, and then I want the main branch, the root directory, which is the first directory, to work. And I guess right now my site is live, not alive, because that would be scary. So if I go to this website, I'll see it presented. And this is hosted on GitHub. You can also attach your domain. So for example, if I go to my, this one, if I go to my own GitHub, the personal one, and write in, this is gonna point to my own domain. So if I press it, it's gonna go to amateur.info. But yeah, technically it's still hosted on GitHub, and I don't pay any storage fee for it. And since I don't need any backend for this, yeah, I can host it easily, and it has been working for me fine. Oh, the resume is 404. Good to know. I've changed the name probably. But if I go to my projects, you can see a couple of projects. Like for example, this one is hosted again on GitHub. You can see the page demo here. It's slash the repository name in my GitHub. And this one is in React. So interestingly, a React app sample. Interesting. It recognizes that it's React, so it's suggesting me to install extension for it. But yeah, it works. So it's a small game. It's 100% front end, and all gone. Random start. Yeah, you can so host any front-end project on GitHub, and there's no problem with that easily. And there's, yeah. Anyway, so that was all, and hope it helps. I probably will come back with another part that I improve this website and make it more beautiful and more usable, since it's pretty much just a template, boilerplate code. It's nothing in it. Eventually, I want to make the blog post more dynamic. I want to create something that I can maybe fetch posts from my YouTube channel, and when I post there, I will be see it here as well. So it's kind of integrated, and since I can post there easily, I could be able to see it here. Also, I should see the APIs and see if YouTube allows uh, people to publicly fetch people's posts, and they probably do, but I need to check. And this could happen with my LinkedIn, with Twitter, but well, different APIs needs to be read. Anyway, so I have planned for this website. This is just the beginning, and I just wanted to tell you that you can host it on GitHub page, and even without any domain, you can with the $0, you can start a website and have a just a simple face of your website, and you don't need to write any code for it. You just need to explain it to the to ChatGPT, and it will generate lots of things for you. And if you don't like any part of it, you can ask it to change. But I'm not gonna go through a conversation with ChatGPT because I kind of know what I need to do, and I just needed a boilerplate to start with. Yeah, so that's all. I'm gonna stop yapping. Um, Please like and subscribe if it helped, and follow me for more tips. And if you like this kind of video, and if you want things to do in the efficient way and in the cheapest way, I'm all for it, as all of us, I guess. Yeah. Um, Hope to see you again. Have a good one.